Yeah, man.
I am sitting here with my brodies. I am sitting here with two of the most influential people that I have ever met and that are representing a group that were pioneers in music and will be pioneers in brewing. I have my dog Skinny Deville.
Yeah.
I have my dog Fish Scales. This is Twanee Talks Podcast. I'll take that drink now with Nappy Roots. What's going on, fellas?
What's good, bro? Him?
Man, nothing much, man. I just want to have a conversation with y'all and see how everything was going with this new brewery. Atlanta has a new location.
Yeah.
Atlantucky Brewing.
Yes, sir.
Yep. New location.
Black business owners.
Yep.
My brothers. Tell me how y'all got into that. Tell me how y'all got into brewing. What inspired? Bro, Moist? Did Moist inspire?
The moist thoughts. The moistness of thoughts inspired us to get into craft beer.
There's a lot of ways to get to it. Several paths that we kind of took to get where we are.
Yeah.
I guess the shorter version would be we was doing a podcast.
Okay.
Nappy Hour podcast.
Yeah.
And we had a segment where we did the beer of the day.
Okay.
And one of the guests we had, Robbie Hart, I think is his last name.
Yep.
He had C4 Belts. It was a company out of Atlanta that for every belt they sold, they donated the proceeds to different charities and whatnot. So he was a guest on Nappy Hour, and that beer of the day was Monday Night Brewing, Serrano iPads. And he immediately told us, yo, the guy who makes that beer is my roommate, or was his roommate, I can't remember.
Yeah,
but
okay.
Peter Colley, they were roommates. He was like, man, if y'all want to go over there after the podcast, we can go meet him and have some beer. So long story short, we did that, and we had already been visiting breweries because that was a good place to promote our shows whenever we go out of town.
Yeah.
But and we always said, let's make a beer, and everybody like, yeah, let's make a beer. But this time, Monday night, Peter Colley said, let's make a beer tomorrow.
Right.
And so it was on, and it's been on ever since.
Long story short,
That's dope.
Yeah.
that was in 2016.
2016.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Well, I mean, it's been amazing to see what you guys have done so far here. I've came, I think, a couple of times, and you guys are always present. You guys are always focused. You guys are always trying to educate. So if you could suggest anything, any tips to people that actually have or desire to be in brewing, what would you tell them? What would you tell them?
It's a very steep learning curve, but I would say drink a lot of beer. Drink a lot of different people's beer,
Okay.
different companies' beer,
Okay.
different styles of beer, because beer has various styles and various different things you can do with beer. Like
Okay.
you can mix different hops with different grains, with different yeast, with different water temperatures, and you'll get a completely different beer, even with those same ingredients. And so to really understand beer, you have to drink it. You have to,
Yeah.
you have to get involved and delve into the actual, I would say the drinking of it, and
Yeah.
be passionate about it. Because if
Yeah.
you're not passionate about it, then it just be something that's, a lot of people want to do something today and they don't want to do it tomorrow.
Yeah.
And when you get into beer, you spend so much money getting equipment, so much money getting just the ingredients, and just spending that much time into actually learning it,
Yeah.
that you're heavily invested in it by the time you get to the point where we are.
Yeah.
And so educate yourself. If you don't like beer, then I wouldn't get into it.
Yeah.
But if you love beer, then I would start with a pot. I would start with some basic recipes that you can get at your local, growler store, or wherever you get the, your grains, ingredients locally.
Okay.
And I would talk to, head brewers at certain breweries and just start asking questions like, what did it take? Like, what does this mean? What is ABVs? What is IBUs? What is SRMs?
Okay.
And all those are different things that are used into making a beer. So it's IBU is an international bitterness unit. So that's how
International
hoppy-
bitterness. Okay.
how hoppy your beer is. Some people like really hoppy beers, so that's a higher IBU beer. A lower IBU beer is something that's easily drinkable, and people don't like that. Like Sweetwater, they have a
Right.
high IBU type of beer. Atlantucky, we have like a low IBU type of beer, and so
I think I like the lower.
I do
Yeah,
too.
yeah, the lower.
I think
one.
black people like a little bit more lower IBUs and more sweeter. We like Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
And just dumping a bunch of sugar in it without measuring nothing. It's just based off how it looks and how hard the spoon stand up in it.
Okay. Yeah.
And so we like liquor, we like alcohol a lot, and so we might like a higher ABV beer.
Okay.
Which is your alcohol in the beer.
Okay.
And so I would figure out what type of beer you like, and then I would try to break that beer down. This was kind of how we got started. And then I just wouldn't let nobody tell me that I can't do it.
Facts.
But start with a 5-10 gallon pot. Get you a burner like you do when you do a turkey outside on Thanksgiving. Get one of those in a 5-gallon, 10-gallon pot. And I would just go down the rabbit hole, man. And you'll be surprised of what you can do on your own and the ingenuity that comes with it.
Okay.
And then pass it around to your friends and see what they think. And the first 2 or 3 are probably gonna taste like shit. But the 4th and the 5th one might be the ones like, okay, let me try taking this a little serious. But there's nothing wrong with being a home brewer.
Yeah.
You can brew at home on the weekends, and in 2 or 3 weeks you got a beer you can drink with a game with your buddies, or over, while you're grilling out, y'all drinking that beer. And it's good camaraderie, man. And beer brings a lot of people that you wouldn't think together. You might be in a neighborhood, and you might be the only black person in the neighborhood. But pop out there in that front driveway with a pot and some grains, and you'll see how many people that don't never say hi to you will come over there and start talking to you about this, that, and the other. And you'll make more friends drinking a beer than you would. I don't know what you do in your spare time, but beer brings people together. And to learn that learning curve, it's intimidating. But once you figure it out, it's the eyes and the mouth and the senses that you use to drink and taste beer like you do alcohol, they open up. Yeah. And it just makes it a very pleasurable, awesome thing.
Okay. Now, this one's for Scales. Scales, how do y'all come up with the names for your brews, man? Like, where does that come from? Is it influenced from the music? Is it from just the neighborhoods, just people that you know? Like, where does that influence come from for the names of the brews?
From everything. Like, it's a team effort, first of all. We all sit around and shoot out ideas, but it's just like naming a song. Well, not quite like naming a song, because a lot of times when you're naming a song, you usually name it after something somebody has said in the song. But with a beer, I guess it's more strategic. We're trying to market the beer. So, like Castleberry Pills, we know we need to appeal to this area, Castleberry Hills. So that was just kind of clever that came to us. The Bluff, the Bluff down the street. It's a historic neighborhood in Atlanta. But the beer has nothing to do with the Bluff. But, it's just being strategic marketing, and also just representing what we're trying to get across as Atlantucky. Yeah. Like, our beer name should somewhat represent our message, what we're trying to get the image we're trying to create here at Atlantucky. So, it's just a team effort. We sitting around drinking beer, talking, smoking, and Skinny might just say, yo, we should call it this. You know what I mean? Okay, yeah. And three people might say, nah, that's terrible. Okay. And, so you just throwing out ideas, and there's no bad ideas. Just run with it, man.
Okay. Do you guys ever want to partner or collaborate with other breweries?
We do.
Okay.
Yeah, we do partner and we do collaborate with other breweries. Okay. We did a beer with in Hapeville with Arches Brewing called Kentucky Mud.
Yes.
It's going on version 3 or 4 right now.
I did see that. Yep.
Yeah, and that's in stores when you get a chance. We partnered with Monday Night. We did 2 beers with them. One was the Front Porch, which Scales just mentioned earlier. And then we did another one, which was a bourbon barrel-aged stout that aged for like 10 months. And, man, that was amazing. And if you got that and you're still holding on to it, kudos. I drank all mine up, like, within the first 6 weeks.
But we called it the Humdinger.
Yeah.
After an album.
Yeah, and that beer is still out there and holding on. And so collaborations come different ways, like in hip-hop. Like, You might collab with somebody you look up to, or you might collab with someone to give you more of a market share or a bigger audience than what you would have on your own.
Right.
And so we do that quite often. When we first got started, we was collabing with a lot of the doper breweries in Atlanta just to get our name out and show them that we were serious about making beer.
So how does that transition from music or being known for music and entering this particular realm? How was that transition? Were people kind of embracing you guys, or was it a struggle to actually get into those places to where maybe you can network with other people and gain some information?
Yeah, it totally helped. Being Nappy Roots is probably the reason we're here. You know what I mean? Like, if we were just two black guys who wanted to make beer, we would still be in the garage right now. Because there's so many breweries popping up every day.
Yeah. So
you got to find something that gives you an edge. Even being black, that's an edge. Most breweries, 99.3% of breweries are owned by white people.
Yeah.
So people are looking for something different, looking for a different way to present this beverage. So the fact that we're black, the fact that we're Nappy Roots, the fact that we take it so passionately, I think that gives us an edge and got us in some doors that we wouldn't have got in if we were just off the streets trying to make beer.
But just taking that risk and being interested in something that many people may not be interested in, and kind of opening the doors and being represented, kids can see y'all, in the brewery game and actually know that it is possible. And you guys are opening, these doors, and you guys are trailblazers, man. And it's much appreciated for somebody like me that has interest in just maybe bourbon or something like that. But brewing, bro, it's like, bro, like, oh, this is different. It hits different. And to be, and the location is amazing. Everything I've had here is amazing. You guys are always welcoming to the community and everybody around you. So I would just say definitely salute y'all, man. Y'all doing your thing, man.
Thank you.
Man, it's the most celebrated adult beverage in the world.
Yeah.
Beer is. Black people love beer. I grew up, beer was at every family function that I've ever attended. We just never knew it was something that we can create ourselves. We never knew it was something that we could create a business out of. And, I'm glad to be one of the pioneers or one of the first people doing it, showing people you can do it. It's fun too, man.
Nah, man, it's dope to see.
Yeah.
Dope to see.
Definitely fun. And we have a hand in the history of beer. I won't go in detail with it because I'm still learning myself, but the story is, Africa, which most things started in Africa, but beer itself, like women making bread, that led to this juice that you got from making bread, which is what we now call beer. But we've had a hand as people of color, Africans, in making beer. Probably the first people making beer on earth.
Ancient Mesopotamia was some of the first pots they found had remnants of something that was considered, wouldn't call it beer back then. It's probably some weird name to it, but it was something that resembled what beer was back then. And also in Egypt. And if you look where ancient Mesopotamia and Egypt are at, it's in the, it's in the African area and in the Middle East and whatnot. But I think that we have a lot to do with it, and we don't have our share of it. We've been disenfranchised as an African American since we got over here.
Yeah.
But the fact that we occupy less than 1% shows opportunities that we have as African Americans to get back into it, because everybody that's white knows about beer.
Yeah.
They all know. But you ask a black dude, what's up with beer? And they'll say Heineken's, Coronas, Michelob's, and Red Stripes.
Something you can get real quick.
Craft beer is something that you can actually get behind and use your own ingenuity, and we're very ingenuitive as African Americans. We figure how to make the pig, every part of it, be a gourmet meal during Thanksgiving, because they didn't give us nothing but that to survive on,
Right.
And so we're very ingenious in our own ways and how we operate, and so craft beer just is another outlet for us to be creative And again, like if we occupy less than 1%, imagine if Jay-Z or Drake or 2 Chainz or any one of your top rappers that you care about say, I'm gonna open a brewery.
Right.
You're like, well, damn, Nappy Roots just did that. But that's dope because that's bringing more attention to what we're trying to do, which is something else we can do other than sports and rap.
Mm-hmm.
You can be an attorney, you can be an accountant, you can be all those things. You can be a drag strip racer. You can be a stripper. That's fine. But to get into craft beer, no one's really doing that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so we're doing something that's it's a like Nappy Roots. We was talking about things in music that really people weren't talking about.
Yeah.
And so we're being innovative in hip hop, and we're trying to be innovative in this culture, in this market right now. And we've been lucky enough, to find, the Russells in the Russell family, who owns this piece of land that we're in right now, and to keep the black dollar in our community. We've been hearing that for so long. Just keep the dollar in the black community like everybody else does. Mm-hmm. And so we really try to do that. We bank black. We hire, black people, but we're not against hiring white people. It's just let's just work within ourselves first and support each other. We have our vendors that come and serve food. They're black, and we try to keep the dollar in the community a little bit longer than it would. As soon as we get it, we go spend it and buy, we'll buy jewelry from somebody else.
Yeah.
We'll go buy a car from somebody else. We'll get our rims from somebody else. And
it'd be us.
It'd be your own people.
It'd be your own people.
But we're trying to change that narrative because as we've gotten older in hip hop and older as black men, we know that you need help and you have to think outside the box, and we know that you can't rap forever.
Right.
Even in rap, it's not all owned by black people.
Facts.
As much as you want it to be or you think it is, it ain't.
Yeah.
The Jews and Italian, they run everything. You know? And so to do this, what we're doing right now with craft beer is a very refreshing idea that no one, for the most part, has their hands in other than us.
Yeah. And that's why,
that's a cool idea.
Nah,
if that idea grows, you'd be surprised what we can all do together if we all just try to get that less than 1% to 5%.
Mm-hmm.
They might not want that to happen, but imagine if they can't stop it and it's undeniable that we make really good beer as African Americans. What are you going to do?
Nothing.
You're not going to not drink it. You're going to go there and hang out and try to help. And most of the other breweries in craft beer, let me just say this too, are very supportive.
That's good.
Of what we're doing.
That's good.
There's no one that's like, what are y'all doing? Let me shut y'all down. Nah, they're like, yo, let me help you out.
Yeah.
Or they'll come here and show support and check it out. Like, yo, this is really good beer.
Right.
Are you doing this? Have you done this? What about, and they're helping us out. So the craft beer industry is very supportive, and I thank everyone who's been showing us love and supporting us on our travels and our this adventure we got called Atlantucky Brewing.
Nah, man, that's again just being able to be here and to work with you guys, to interview you guys, to pick your brains, man. I think that it's been an amazing opportunity. I appreciate for allowing us to come in here and have an event with DJ ZNyce. You know what I'm saying? And I got my homeboys with me. Yeah. And I'll take that drink now. Twanee Talks Podcast, Scales and Skinny. We here. So I wanted to start with the brewing stuff, but I do want to talk about music.
Okay.
Because I know you guys just released a record.
Yep, 2, actually.
2 records, yes. Box of Chocolates.
Yep.
And Random Thoughts.
Yep. Featuring our artist Sunday, who has dropped his new song today.
Okay. Shout out to Sunday.
Right there.
Yeah, we're going to get him on the podcast today. You know what I'm saying? We're going to get him on the podcast today, too. So, Random Thoughts. What inspired that record?
The beat, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That beat, like, as soon as I heard it, I was like, oh, this is what I'm just writing. And it was just random thoughts that just flowed from my pen, from my mind to the pen. Those, to me, are some of the best records that I make, that I'm a part of, is when I don't have to overthink it.
Yeah.
I don't have to go back and scribble out 3 lines and come up with another. It just flowed out of my pen so effortlessly that, and I just got in the booth and just laid it. Mm-hmm. And, it's my analog confession, and just everything just flowed out after that. We got to do better. That's my suggestion.
You definitely, you hit the nail. You definitely hit the nail in the coffin. And with that record. But also, though, this particular record to me, it stood out because it was something a little bit different than what you guys maybe would have done. You guys showed maturity. Of course, you showed introspection. You're introspective. opinions about things. You showed that you want people to really, really think about what they're doing and where they're going. You guys share some of your personal information, and I always love when artists do that. That you share their personal information and being very, very vulnerable with sharing,
Yeah.
particular personal information.
Yeah.
But also, it was a very smooth record. Sunday, shout out to him, man. It sounded great on that record as well.
Yeah.
Scales. Now, with this particular record, you mentioned some things in your verse that I thought was pretty cool that I didn't know. You want to discuss some of those things with us?
Uh, Random thoughts.
Random thoughts.
Um, it's like Skinny said, he's 100% right. We just heard the beat and wrote the words to it as it came. Um, man, just for me as an artist, I've just every song I try to do, I try to make it emotional. Try to touch some kind of emotions with it. Try to be vulnerable. Like I think I'm okay with that at this stage of life. With sharing certain things that I probably wouldn't have shared years ago. I'm more confident in who I am as a man now, so I don't mind sharing some of my weak points. And I do have a line where I talk about a homeboy who lost his father. The reason I even brought that up was just to show you how easy you could lose your life. Like he was just riding down the street and a deer came in the road and he tried to avoid hitting the deer and lost his life. He didn't leave home thinking that was gonna happen at all.
Right.
So it's just that always stuck with me, and that was years ago. Just to know that those type of things can happen, and you don't plan them. You never plan them.
Nah, not at all, man.
They just change your life. And that song is just a lot of that, man. I mean, we are older, and wisdom does come with experience, and that's where we at, man. We 40-some-year-old rappers. We have to say something in every song.
Yeah.
Like I don't feel getting on any record that's just for play. Like this is serious to us now, and we have a brewery, so we're not just rappers anymore. So if we're taking the time to work on music, we're taking it very seriously.
Yeah.
And that's Random Thoughts and Box of Chocolates, I think are great efforts by Nappy Roots. To keep our name going and to get better as MCs. So
Yeah. I appreciate that. I appreciate you guys sharing that information. I appreciate you guys, just being so nappy.
Yeah.
I know we started this conversation talking about moist shit. So we're gonna end it.
Moist like cornbread. Moist like meatloaf. Top 5 moist.
Top five moist before y'all head out, man.
Turkey.
Top 5 moist.
Is it turkey? You said biscuits just now.
Well, I said
you know
brisket.
what?
Brisket. Oh,
But
brisket.
Hold on.
Brisket
One
even
second.
better.
I'm gonna say this, man. I hope y'all don't judge me. I don't like turkey.
What?
Because it's usually not moist.
Exactly. Like I'm.
Chicken breast. You want a moist chicken breast.
I don't like turkey, man.
Damn, Twanee, we gotta fix that.
I know,
Hey,
man.
man.
It's crazy,
You
dog.
contradict everything Thanksgiving.
Mom's a do the little Cornish hens, man. And I'm good. You know
That's
what I'm
cool. I
saying?
mean, it's the same thing.
Turkey too dry for me, dog.
Well, you gotta
That's what we talking about, moist.
You gotta go with the dark meat. Always go with the dark meat.
Yeah, when I eat chicken, dark. It's all dark.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
I like a nice thigh and a nice leg, but I love and enjoy a good turkey breast, man. Sliced
I enjoy
properly.
turkey breast too, but not
Meatloaf, turkey, chicken, a good moist, a beef dog. I ain't mad at either. Pause.
Okay. Okay. So if people want to get in contact with y'all to chop it up about brewing and to chop it up about music, to chop it up about life, are you guys receptive to that? And how can they contact y'all?
Man, they got to come right here to Atlantucky, 170 Northside Drive. We're here most afternoons, hanging out. If we're not brewing in the back, we're at the bar shooting the shit. We're on the porch, watching the cars drive by. But also, you can hit us up at on Nappy Roots Twitter, at Nappy Roots, on Facebook, Nappy Roots Music, I think. Oh, it's not, that's YouTube, I'm sorry. But at Nappy Roots on most social media platforms.
Okay.
And that's it. If you really want to send an email because you don't like what we're doing, you can send it to info@nappyroots.com and see if you get a response. If you're hating, don't do anything. Just keep your opinions to yourself, man. Talk to the pillow about it when you cry at night. I don't care if you're a hater, go somewhere.
It's
But if you're showing love, man, come hang out with us. Skinny Scales, we here all the time.
Yes,
We're not
sir.
hard to find.
Yes, sir.
Yep, it's 2022, man. We are not hard to find. At Nappy Roots, wherever you at Nappy Roots, you can find us.
That's what's up. That's what's up. This has been an incredible conversation. I'll take that drink now. Twanee Talks Podcast, NYCE VIBES. We got DJ ZNyce in the background.
Yeah.
We got I don't know which one this is.
I'll say the Bluff.
Okay, the Bluff. I got the Bluff.
Okay.
He's drinking Castleberry Pills.
I got the Naptoberfest.
Naptoberfest. Hey man, we just doing it, man. We got black brewers here, man.
This is an exquisite moment
Man,
you guys are
look
witnessing.
I want to say, and congratulations on your podcast, man.
Yeah, man.
Appreciate that.
We're
family.
long overdue on doing anything. This is
I
our
know.
first thing
I
we've
know,
done
right?
together. So I'm glad we've done it, man. You are more than welcome in Atlantucky anytime, bro.
Atlantucky, Nappy Roots, Twanee Baby.
Boy, Twanee Baby. A KFY, boy.
And we gonna end it off. We gonna end this thing off. We gonna play that Random Thoughts record.
Okay.
Thank y'all. This is the Twanee Talks Podcast. I'll take that drink now. You dig?
Bam, bam, bam.
Yeah. I like this.